Yeah, hello there, guys. This is Locke is the man. Now, this is actually my second video. Today, I would like to talk about the Snyder Cut. And for those of you who do not know what the Snyder Cut is, actually, before that, I would like to say that I wanted to talk about the Snyder Cut for a very long time. I just didn't have the time to make the video of it, but since I have the time right now, why not? So let's get into it. What is the Snyder Cut? Basically, Zack Snyder's version of Justice League. Well, what's wrong with the theatrical version of the Justice League, you ask? Well, it has a lot of problems. Personally, I didn't enjoy it. I felt offended because it wasn't Zack Snyder's original vision for Justice League. It really wasn't. It was a hybrid of what Zack Snyder and Joss Whedon would have done. I would say it's more of a Joss Whedon sort of movie because it lacks the Zack Snyder's touch, if you will. The Justice League is compromised by Warner Brothers. If you do not know, they really did a lot of things on the movie. It's really sad to see that happen to a big movie like Justice League, something that fans have been anticipating for a very long time. And once we had that opportunity to see it on the big screen, it failed. It failed to deliver. It failed to deliver to us fans. It failed to deliver to the general audience. I personally wouldn't watch. I couldn't bear to watch a second time. And that's how bad it is, right? If you notice the theatrical cut, in the first scene where you see Henry Cavill's Superman, and the first thing I notice, and a lot of fans would have noticed, is his face. His face is different. It's just so bad. I always felt like when the first time I watched it, it was like, what's wrong with his face? It looks it looks so weird. And then I remember, because I did keep tabs with the news. Zack Snyder was fired before the release and during production, and that's how I knew that something was wrong. That's gonna be wrong with the movie. And I knew that Henry Cavill's mustache, he was going to be in the movie in some ways because he had to shoot for Mission Impossible. The film has been reshot. I think more than half of the movie, probably 60%, has been reshot. So scenes that have Superman with the weird no mustache look, it's all shot by Joss Whedon. When I watched the trailer, the first few trailers, right? I think the first two, it was good because it was by Zack Snyder. So a lot of the things that we see inside it, I would say that they are not in the final cut, and the movie was tweaked. Even the color palette was tweaked. So in the subsequent trailers, it's brighter. It's certain scenes look different compared to the first two trailers. And it just doesn't seem Zack Snyder-ish. And Justice League, believe it or not, was actually a 5-part story arc, and that is confirmed by Zack Snyder himself, right? Imagine 5-part story arc. So it started off with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then we have Justice League and Justice League Part 2, and probably will end with Man of Steel 2. I can't remember what's the last film, but in a nutshell, it's supposed to be a 5-part story arc. Now think of that, an epic 5-part story arc that would tie up everything in this Zack Snyder verse. That would be so awesome to watch. Imagine when you start off Man of Steel, where no one really knows who the hell Superman is until the whole world is being introduced to these meta-humans, and suddenly you have Batman inside, Wonder Woman, and then Eventually you get the whole Justice League, and probably you get Green Lantern. And imagine Zack Snyder at the helm of things, in the sense that how beautiful the shots would be. Him pairing up with Larry Fong, I think is like the best combination. Just look at Watchmen. That movie is gorgeous. That movie is good, right? You have that beautiful, he knows when to use slow-mos, he knows when to use the right angle to shoot certain things, and it is so nice to watch. It's so pretty. But of course, I'm a person who is not just like it's all about the effects, the visual effects, the CGI. No, I'm a person who watch movies and would judge a movie based on the plot, the story, the character development, the actors' performances, the cinematography, and a lot of things. Like I said, I like Zack Snyder's vision of the 5-part story arc. I thought that would be so amazing to watch. Imagine going to the nightmare scene, going to the injustice route. That's gonna be so epic, man. We just get a tease of that in Batman v Superman, and one thing I would like to add is that Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition, is one of my favorites. Now, why would I say that? Is the movie perfect? No. Was the movie bad? No, hell no. The movie was so much better. The Ultimate Cut was so much better than the theatrical cut. The theatrical cut, honestly, was garbage. I have no idea why Warner Brothers would do that. Just release the damn director's cut. It was so much better. It makes sense. I get it is more of a business standpoint where the movie is too long. People get tired of that. But I thought that the movie was good. It has its own style. It's so different compared to the Disney movies. I mean, the Marvel movies. The Marvel movies have that same tone, and it's good in the sense that it keeps continuity. But then again, it's like doesn't have that the unique like each different movie has their unique style to it. The different director's style. It doesn't have that. It doesn't give the impression of that. Whereas if you look at DC's movie currently, we have, like, for example, Aquaman have James Wan's style in it. Zack Snyder's have his own style in it. Shazam has David Sandberg's style in it. So and Wonder Woman have Patty Jenkins' style into it. So it has that different director's take. So in a way, you have different creative style, and it would look fresh for the audience. But Justice League to me was so mediocre to the point where I don't feel the epicness. Like we watch Man of Steel, we watch Batman v Superman, and then we come to Justice League, and it doesn't feel epic enough to it's supposed to be like this huge movie. Like everything builds up to this point where Steppenwolf is coming. Darkseid is gonna come eventually, but no, we don't even see Darkseid. It was only mentioned once by Steppenwolf, and it's just for Darkseid, and that's it. And according to the leaks and rumors going on around, you get so many stuff that was cut out. I follow these guys on YouTube, right? They are my favorite go-to guys for the Snyder Cut or anything related to DC. YouTubers like Chris Wong Swenson, Dave the Film Junkie, Film Gob, Dingus Bringers, Lantern 2814, comic book movie marks. Follow them. If you're interested in the Snyder Cut or would like to know more, follow them. They always have new videos almost every single day, and it's just a delight to see them talk about the Snyder Cut and helping to push the whole movement, right? The thing about the Snyder Cut is that we cannot stay silent, right? If you are an advocate, just like me, an advocate for the Snyder Cut, do not do not lose hope. Just keep pushing. A few weeks back was Zack Snyder's director's cut event, and I was so excited about it. I mean, I wasn't there. I'm not in the States or anything. I'm actually in Malaysia, so far away. But you know, I do not know how many Malaysians knows about the Snyder Cut or support the Snyder Cut. But I am one who is supporting it, so kudos. It's more like a Zack Snyder's event to showcase his director's cut. So Justice League definitely wasn't part of the event because it wasn't his cut. There's no director's cut for it so far. The thing about it is that there's fans who ask him about the Snyder Cut, and he says that it's done. Think about it, it's done. But the visual effects weren't done yet. So the movie is not really polished because the visual effects not there. And for a movie like Justice League, you need to have those effects done in order to enjoy it fully. I just want it to get released. Now the original script that Zack Snyder had for Justice League, apparently it wasn't shot. It wasn't shot. So what did Zack Snyder shot? Well, there have been revisions of scripts. They have rewritten scripts a number of times, and the one that we got in the theaters are sort of not this original script, but it was, you know, the Snyder Cut is not the original version that he had, you know, before this, but it is the approved version from Zack Snyder. So it's still his movie. The Snyder Cut is still his version, but the original version that he had, Warner Brothers didn't go for it, asked for a rewrite. Why? Because it was deemed too scary or too dark. You know, I feel that Warner Brothers should ball up. You know, they have been sort of a pussy for, you know, after Man of Steel. You know, even Batman v Superman got affected. Suicide Squad got affected. Even I'm not sure about Wonder Woman. Just felt bad for Zack Snyder and also for David Ayer. His Suicide Squad could have been so epic, like a solid, legit movie, but instead it became this sort of colorful, bright music video with all of these characters in it, and it felt so weird. And the thing about WB, Warner Brothers, admitted that they were trying to imitate Marvel. Hence, you get all this change of things, that from Man of Steel you get Batman v Superman, and then suddenly Suicide Squad is, you know, suddenly gone off rails to become something else. And Wonder Woman was great, don't get me wrong, Wonder Woman was great. Was the story very, very good? I would say the story could have been a lot better, but overall the movie is good. As for Aquaman, I thought Aquaman was good, but I think maybe originally Aquaman was supposed to be a little bit more darker, but they sort of made it lighter in the sense that, you know, so you can see that sort of like the Marvel influence there that the Warner Brothers trying to put into it. They have since apologized for it. Right now, I think Zack Snyder couldn't say too much. He can hint a little bit because of NDA, which is very unfortunate, right? Zack Snyder shared a couple of pictures on Vero, his favorite social media platform. He shared a picture of Oxus. If you do know who is Oxus, I think, I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing it right. Oxus, UXAS. Oxus is okay. Oxus is basically young Darkseid, and he shared that concept art of young Darkseid holding a spear or whatnot, a weapon in his hand. And the thing about it, that Justice League would have shown young Darkseid it would be so amazing to watch. It's just mind-boggling that we didn't get to see a glimpse, just a little glimpse of Darkseid. Apparently at the end of Justice League that we saw in the theaters, remember when after they defeated Steppenwolf, the whole team was standing on top of a cliff looking at this the scenery of plants. Originally that scene wasn't supposed to be that, it was supposed to be Darkseid boom tubed into the area and reveal himself, and the whole team just watched, says that he'll be coming back or something like that. So imagine the epicness of that, and we didn't get to see any of that. Another theory being tossed around recently was, if you look at Oxus, the concept art of young Darkseid, the attire that he was wearing, compare that to Steppenwolf, it's really, really similar, And if you watch back the history lessons in Justice League, where they were talking about how Steppenwolf came to Earth, want to conquer them during the ancient times, and where everyone was teaming up to defeat Steppenwolf, and they say that what if originally it wasn't Steppenwolf, it was young Darkseid? So what if that was actually young Darkseid fighting the whole team? Now that would be interesting, right? That Darkseid got defeated before, and then he's gonna come back for more. Another point that has been circling around is the early Justice League trailer, where you hear no protectors here, no lanterns, no Kryptonian, right? And this world shall fall like the others. So we were led to believe that was Steppenwolf, but someone pointed out that it could be Darkseid, because the voice is a little bit different. I mean, I don't know what to make up of that, but it would be so awesome if it wasn't Steppenwolf, it was Darkseid. Now, talking about Darkseid, we have an actor for Darkseid. I think it's pretty much confirmed, and it is the actor Ray Porter. Now, who is Ray Porter, you ask? I don't even know. I don't even know who Ray Porter is, but apparently he has hinted that he is Darkseid with the Omega symbol t-shirt that he has on social media, and he said that he's honoring the NDA. But we get it. Now, the whole thing about the Snyder Cut, the story that Zack Snyder gave during his SnyderCon, blew people away. Even blew me away. You know why? Part of the plot, as we know that, based on what we saw in Batman v Superman, we have the nightmare sequence, right? So we know eventually the story is going to be unfolding in that direction, that somehow Superman goes rogue, and we have gone into the Injustice timeline. So Zack Snyder pretty much confirmed that we're going to there. Something happened, and he said, how did it happen? It's where Darkseid boom tube into the Batcave and killed Lois Lane. And everybody blew their minds. Everybody was like, what? Even I was baffled. I was like, oh, damn. That would be so cool to watch. Something that we would not expect to happen. Like, of all places, boom, Batcave. Lois dies. And when Lois dies, Superman was so depressed that he, when he was succumbed, to the anti-life equation. And that's where Darkseid gets to him, and that's how the Justice timeline started. And the surviving members of the Justice League, like Batman, Flash, and I think Batman was trying to communicate with Cyborg. Cyborg was almost dead, I can't remember, because in the original cut, Cyborg was supposed to be ripped apart and not have his leg torn apart. So, and Cyborg somehow told Batman, you want to jump back in time, there's only 2 windows. They have to ask Flash to go back in time. So he asked, which one would you like to go? And Batman told him, we tried the first one, right? And it didn't work. So let's try the other one. And that would be so cool to watch. Zack Snyder has a shirt. If you do not know that shirt, Google it, right? Just Google Zack Snyder's shirt, or suicide prevention shirt. Just look for it. It's black in color. The image is sort of Freemasonry sort of design, but he has a lot of hidden meanings inside there. Zack Snyder hinted on the running time of the movie of his Snyder Cut, because someone asked him and he circled this number on a poster, and it was a 214 minutes, that is, and that equates to about 3 hours plus. So the movie originally was supposed to be 3 hours plus, just like Avengers Endgame, but it was cut down to 2 hours. 2 hours. Kevin Sujara, you dick. You really a dick.